Hello, welcome to my home. My name is Lisa, and this is where I talk about stitching. I hope everybody has been having a good couple of weeks since my last video. I've been doing a lot of stitching and quilting over here, and it's been fun. I've even been getting a little bit of weeding done outside, so I feel like I'm getting my head above water, which is a wonderful feeling. I hope you guys are experiencing the same thing. I hope you're able to get a little bit of progress on the things that are bringing you joy. So I have some fully finished things to share with you, and I have some finishes from last time. And then I thought I would share some of my works in progress. So hope you'll sit back and have something cool to drink or hot if you prefer, and you'll be able to stitch a little bit while we talk. So I did get some things fully finished last week. I think it was on last Monday. I decided to come into my sewing room first thing in the morning. So I came in with my Dr. Pepper and just sat in my room and just kind of waited for what direction I wanted to go in that day. And sorry. You all right, Marshall? Come here, buddy. You okay? He's my dog that doesn't see very well, and so he's been having a rough couple of days. He thinks he's at the right turn, and he's not, and so he kind of runs into things. Hold on, buddy. Just a second. Okay. I think he wasn't really awake yet, so yeah, he's still not right. He's in the laundry room. Anyway, he's fine. Gosh, and then he licked my forehead and got my bangs all goofy. Do you ever have a new hairdresser and have that awkward phase of time between when, they get used to how your hair lays and whatever? I'm in that awkward stage now. Now I got my bangs all goofy. Anyway, Marshall, what was I talking about? So, oh yeah. So I was able to get some little pillows finished. I had done the stitching a while back. I just hadn't fully finished them. So I did get a little bit done. And I know I'm going to try to be hiding these two fingers. I went and got my nails done. And like within 2 days, it was peeling off of the couple of my nails. And what you know, it's the ones that's going to show the most. So I'm going to go today and see if maybe they'll fix those up. I've never had that happen, but anyway. So when I was filling these pillows, I like to use walnut shells, but then they're so floppy, it's hard to show them. So what I did was I had the bottom opening on this one, and so I just took my little funnel and I filled it with the walnut crystals. And then once I was done, I shoved a little bit of polyfill, like just tiny little pieces of polyfill here and there and like in the corners and whatnot. And it seems like you get the weight of the crushed walnut shells, but yet it's not as floppy. So I think that might be my new normal. Anyway, this is a Stitching with the Housewives chart. It's an extra chart that comes with Proud to be an American. I just used ecru and I forget what other, just a red and a blue. It's just DMC. And so real happy with the way it turned out. I just used a little red gingham check for the back. And so now this is destined for, I think, my coffee table. I had just one of my red sampler pillows in that display because I didn't have anything patriotic finished. So I think I'll swap that out and put that out. So I got that one finished. And then I've been working towards my goal of filling up my little tray of Keeper of the Pins by Brenda Gervais. And so this one I had fully stitched previously, and so I was able to get it made into a pillow the other day and put in the tray. And then I think since last time I was with you, I did the little tomato one and sewed on some buttons. And I did the same thing. I used walnut crystals, and then I shoved a little bit of polyfill here and there. And then as far as the stitching part, whoa, I had done the spools on this one. I just had to do the bird and the little tomato. And so I was able to get that fully finished since last time. So I was able to finish the stitching, and then I've got it made into a pillow. And I think I'm going to do the same thing as Carol Saltbox Stitcher and just buy those little pins that have the little white heads on them, applique pins, to just put in here because I didn't want to do the little stitching on there. So anyway, so I just have one more pillow. I just have one more pillow to make. That's the little lady. And then I'll have to figure out how exactly I want to lay things. I think I'm going to have to put something in the bottom of this tray because it seems like it's just a little bit too deep and some of the stitching things get lost. We'll see. But then I plan on taking some wooden spools and wrapping some maybe red DMC around there. And then I might make a few more pin cushions. We'll see. I have a few that are going to go in there. But overall, I'm liking the way my little tray is shaping up. Okay, so those were my fully finished things. I was able to finish stitching on another piece. This is Down in the Valley by Blackbird Design, and it's a reward of merit chart that I'm going to send to a friend. I wanted to make sure I did my video first so I could show the little front of the chart, but then I promised it to someone. I chose my own colors as I normally do, and anyway, I'm real happy with it, the way it turned out. I left some of the little doodads off, and I kind of changed the coloring on some of the other ones, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. So I'm not real sure. I'm thinking I'm going to do the same type of finish that's on the chart, either on a pedestal or I have just a couple little tart pans. This one has little legs. I got it at the thrift store for 50 cents. So I'm not sure if I will do that, or I know I have a couple candlesticks that are kind of like this finish that I did on the other Blackbird design, and I'm kind of thinking I might set them together, and it's a little bit shorter, so that might be the route I go. I'm not real positive. I didn't even adhere this one down. If you haven't been here before, I know I've showed it before, but I just used multiple circles of batting to poof it up quite a bit, and then to kind of, I planned on hanging just cream buttons all along the edge, but I couldn't get that to look right, so I just stitched this little doily onto it so that it had something that would just hang down, and then just put a little bulb pin with some buttons on it. So anyway, that's my plan, is to just maybe display those two together. So I just need to get busy on that. I need to make a decision. Let's see, where am I going to put all this stuff? Okay, and then I don't know. I just was in the mood to do something that I hadn't worked on in a long time. And so I went ahead and pulled out Silver Creek Samplers, Liberty Hill Farm. And this was a mania start a long time ago. And I borrowed the threads from it. I just took the whole ring because I really loved the way these this red, white, and blue combination. I just really love it. It's ecru, and then 3831 for the red, and then 931 and 930. I just really love those red, white, and blue. So whenever I had something, I'm pretty sure that was what I used in Stars and Stripes that I just shared a little while ago. That was just a good go-to. So whenever I would go to pick this up and work on it, the threads were never in the bag. And I couldn't remember where they were. And so then I would just toss it aside and I'd work on something else. But they were in the bag this time. And so I was able to get quite a bit of it finished. I'm almost done. I just have to finish the 6 here in 1776. And when you know, I ran out of 930 DMC. So that's another one of the things I want to look for today. I'm sure I probably have another one here somewhere. I should have pressed this. It would have been so much prettier. Now, there was some things in the chart that I left off, and I'd be interested in your opinion. I'm thinking I'm going to make this into a drum. Not positive, but I'm thinking. I don't know, though. It would probably be a pretty small drum. Maybe not. Either that or I'm going to frame it. One or the other. But I left off the heart and the stars on, on the edge of the bunting. Mainly because I was just tired of stitching this piece and I was just ready to be finished with it. You ever get that part of your whip process where you're like, yeah, I'm done working on this. So I was kind of at that stage. But I'd kind of be curious on your opinion. Do you think it needs those stars and little doodads and hearts by the bunting? I just kind of like the idea that the bunting was just going to stand on its own. Don't know. But I'd be interested in your opinion, what you think. But so this is almost a finish. If I don't find any of that 930, then I will go and get some more of that today when I'm out getting groceries. Which is scary. I shouldn't go into Joann's just for one DMC floss. You know how that turns out. Come out with a whole shopping cart full of stuff later. I did that I went in for paint one time. Yeah. But anyway, it was still fun. Okay. I was in another mood to do something that I hadn't worked on in a while. So I pulled out Brenda Key's Red House Sampler, which I'm doing a blue house, but so let's see. This is what I have on it so far. And so I was able to bring the border over. I think I went to the edge of the piece. Sorry, I don't feel like this is showing very good because it's so wrinkly. Anyway, I was able to bring the border over to the edge, and then I did a little bit more on the house. I filled in the windows. I did the sashing, I guess, on the windows. That's about as far as I got. But it was fun because I was a little bit nervous about what I was going to choose for the windows for it. because in the original pattern, there's quite a few different colors. And I've decided to kind of simplify mine and just do the same color for the sashing as the house. So, okay. So we did a little bit on that. I've been trying to, whenever I work on something, put it in a basket so that I kind of have an idea of what I've been working on. I did put a little bit more work into Miss Baxter's house. I wonder if I scooted over more, if it would show up better on this side. So I did more work on this part of the building. I framed in the door and the windows and did some more of the logs. I did that, I think, mostly yesterday. We were sitting outside. I'm just loving this one. And the logs are really going pretty fast because there's just, you know, it's just mindless stitching. So I hurried and framed in that window so if I got in a predicament where I didn't know what I wanted to work on, I'd have something. Oh, and there's the keeper of the pins, which I couldn't find earlier. But yeah, the little lady is the one I have to do next. And I brought my fabric in here, but couldn't find my chart, so I need to get my threads pulled together for that. I'm gonna get a drink because I sound raspy. Just a second. Okay, I don't know if I'll sound any better, but I'm out of Dr. Pepper. My husband started drinking it this weekend. What in the world? He normally doesn't drink pop. Every time I turned around, he had some. I'm like, just simmer there, mister. That's okay. I had some other stuff to drink. It was okay. All right. So I have been working a little bit at work on a project. I've been taking Wool and Flax Company to work with me, in the hopes that maybe I won't eat the entire lunch break. Oh, it's hard when you work in a restaurant. You just want to eat all the things. So I had filled in the most of the lettering in the box. So I've just been working on fill-in. So that's moving along. I thought, well, if I do kind of the tough part first, not really tough, but kind of the tedious part, although I really like to do fill-in. So some people might think, oh, I'm not filling in that box, but I'm like, ooh, I'm filling in that box. So I've been working on that a little bit. Let's see. And then I've been working on Mondays with my Shepherd Song crew. It's hard to say. Shepherd Song crew. But I forgot to post to the hashtag. But the hashtag, if you want to stitch along with us, it's PS, and that's for Plum Street. So PS, Shepherd Song Sal. I don't think I put a date in there. And I don't really know if anybody else has posted to it. But I know people are stitching along with me, so I was able to pick out my grass color and the house color. In the last video, I talked about that. And so I have been able to get a little bit of progress on that. I should have pressed it. Okay, so this is how much I have so far. And then this is the part that I've been working on. And it doesn't seem like that much. I mean, I have like 2 rows of the grass because that's how much you have between the grass and where the little sheep heads start. I feel like my camera's focusing very good today. Maybe it's tired. So anyway, I was able to get a couple rows of the grass in, and I think I'm going to like that color. And then I was able to get a couple rows of the house in also. So for the grass, I'm using lily pad, and for the house, I'm using black coffee. So I was able to get, and I love the fact that now I have more just fill-in stitches that I can do, you know, before I have to do the next set of windows. So, but that was fun. I'm finally starting to get in a rhythm with 40 count, and I'm able to do my sewing method. And so it's become a little bit more enjoyable. So got some work on that one. I did a little bit, and I mean just a little bit, after work one day on Humble and Kind, which is my memorial piece for my mom. And I am altering the colors quite drastically, but I'm loving how it's coming along. And so I was able to get a couple more rows of the house put in. And then I think there's some decisions on where the shutters and stuff were gonna go, so kind of stopped there. The chart doesn't have shutters, but my mom's favorite house did, so I want to put green shutters in there. So okay, so those are the stitching things that I've worked on. I've been doing quite a bit of quilting. Let's see, I guess 2 Wednesdays ago, Loretta came over and we worked on our wall hanging that we are going to make. So I had showed some of the fabric that I had purchased for her birthday gift, and I kind of showed an idea of what I wanted to make with it. So and I was just planning on doing a hive in the center of the quilt, and then just do sawtooth stars around the edge. But then I decided, I saw this one in one of my books that I have. It's A Change of Seasons by Bonnie Sullivan. And so she has one in here that was basically my idea of what I wanted to happen. I was going to use her hive from another quilt that she was making anyway, but I thought, oh my gosh, I don't have to think about the sizes of the stars or anything. I can just do this. So this is what I came up with. So this is going to be the center of the quilt. It's going to be a wall hanging, and I think it comes out to be about 43 inches square. So I did the stem stitch to make the stem of the vine, and then I fused all the leaves on, and then there's also going to be little red buttons. It's kind of hard to see against my crazy colored nail, but there's going to be little bits of red all through it also. So we got her blocks all cut out, and then she had to run to go do something with her grandkids. So I I don't know. She was hoping to work on it this last weekend, but I haven't talked to her yet this morning to see if she was able to get anything done. So, but then there's also these stars that go around the edge. And this might be more detail than you're interested in, but I need content for the video. So, so now where this one has the 2 different shades of green, little borders here, I'm not going to be doing those. I'm just going to be doing just 2.5-inch strips of this color. And then these blocks will butt up to it. So you don't have to do all the points of the stars because the one side butts into the other. So, but I'm real excited with how these are turning out. I think I have 5 more blocks to do, and then I will have all the star points done. So I've been working on that quite a bit, just here and there. Like if I have a couple, like a half hour or an hour before work or whatever, I've been trying to, my chair doesn't want to move. I've been trying to come in and do a block here or there. And that's been great because I feel like I'm making progress without dedicating a whole day to it. So I'm thinking maybe today, once I get some of my other stuff done, I might sit out and do, I haven't decided whether I want to do the blanket stitch around all those things or if I just want to do a whip stitch. I don't have a whole lot of experience in doing a whip stitch over a bigger project. I mean, I've done little ones, just tacking down on a pillow or something, but so I have to decide that still. But anyway, I'm happy with how it's turning out. So I'm hoping that after the 4th of July and the patriotic stuff has been up, I'm thinking I can switch this out into like a bee theme for right before fall. That's the plan. We'll see. I've also been deciding that, or remembering that I don't have very long to get my Summer at Hollyberry Farm framed. I have it actually sitting out here to remind me, because my goal was to have this thing framed by the 4th of July, and it's coming. And so I need to hurry up. So I might even take that with me today and see if I can find a frame at the thrift store. I know I've gone to Hobby Lobby a couple of times and they don't have, it doesn't fit a standard size. Now, if I had given myself more margin, because normally I am like really thrifty with my margins, and I think, oh, it's because I'm going to frame it, it doesn't matter. But if I had more margin on the one side, I could have done a frame, a standard frame that was just a little bit bigger and just had a little bit more margin around the edge, and I probably would have been fine with that. But I didn't give myself enough on the one side because I didn't really think about it being an issue with the frame. I just thought, well, you only need so much to wrap around the foam core. What's the big deal? But now I get it, and it's like, oh, shucks, I could have used a standard frame. But so live and learn. I have been trying, when I know that I'm not going to be doing a pillow finish, I have been trying to give myself a little bit more margin so I have a little bit more to play with. But overall, when you've done so much work in a piece like that, I don't know that I would have wanted to settle with having so much margin showing. I kind of like them a little bit close to the edge. So anyway, but I got to get going or else I'm not going to make that goal. Okay, so I guess I should glance around at some of my piles and see. I have a lot of things that I want to start. I was going through some of my whips, and I really don't have as many projects that I'm very excited about. I have quite a few projects, and one is a pretty big one, but I really don't think I'm going to finish it. I mean, I'll save it. Who knows? One of these days it might call to me, but right now it's not. And so I want some things that are exciting to pick up. So, and I was, oh, I forgot to show my threads that I was going to do my blanket stitching and things with. I've got them all on a ring and ready to go. Okay, and so when I was thinking about wanting to start some things, I was contacted by one of my viewers who said, hey, I'd like to send you some charts, and you can do whatever you want with them. If you want to stitch them, fine. If you want to use them as giveaways or whatever. And so she sent them to me, and I tell you, it was just like Christmas. I was so excited by some of the things she had sent me. I think I only had one of them in the whole stack. And so I just wanted to say thanks to Sherry. And so this is what she had sent me. And so I feel like this is just the perfect stitch for now with the season that we're coming in for patriotic stuff. So she sent me that one, and then she sent me this one, and I had been seeing this quite a bit lately. Carol Saltbox Stitcher shared it. Kim Goldman had just shared it on a video I watched today on hers. So and I had some fabric that I bought, and I haven't seen anybody stitch it on something more dark. It's always been on kind of an ivory linen, and so the house just doesn't show up as much as I think it would if it was on something darker. So I'm contemplating doing it on Driftwood by Stephanie. It's a 36 count. So I think I'm going to try to get my threads lined up today for that. And then this one is calling to me also because I feel like it would go so nicely in front of my tomato tray. I thought, well, I could have it sitting in front of it. Stay home or the Project Quarantine, where it says stay home and stitch. So I have some fabric in mind for that too. So I thought I want to try to get that pulled together. I think that would be two really fun things to stitch right now. And then, so this was in some of the stuff Sherry sent to me, Harvest Chock Full. And I've loved these jars. So I thought, well, that would be fun. Oh, something out on the porch. Sometimes it's just Marshall running into something, but okay. And so then there was also this one, Tree Farm by Hands on Design. Pumpkin Spice, something great for fall. Summer ABCs. I didn't have this one. I have done the Needleworker one, and I've done spring and winter. The winter one is just kind of chilling out right over there. I had it to where I could swap things out on my shutter, but I'm kind of getting away from that type of a finish. It was just a little, I think it was just mainly the greenery that I had used on it was just a little too much. I needed something a little bit more subtle for it. But the summer one is one that I've really been wanting to do. So, so I'm kind of excited. I'm going to have that in the pile too to see. I don't know if I have any piece of fabric that would be long enough here, but I'm going to check it out. And so then there was also Souvenirs of the Heart, Autumn in Amana. Love those houses. So I just loved all of the things that she sent. This is by Riveris and it's Daisy. There's a Brenda Gervais, Bloom Where You Were Planted. This one was pretty too. Scarlet House, American Farmhouse. Love this one too. Okay, and then there was this one. Sorry. JBW Designs French Country Pumpkin. And then we have a Country Cottage Needleworks November. And then a Teresa Kogut Snowman. Star Spangled Snowman, I think is what it's called. If I can read backwards. Star Shaped Snowman. So, anyway, so I just thought that was so much fun. I just kept going through them and through them and through them and wondering, okay, which one should I start first? And then I was, then I didn't get up and go try to pick out fabric and threads. And so that kind of stalled me out. And plus I've been doing a little bit out in my yard. So I am excited about that. But thanks, Sherry. I appreciate you thinking of me and sending me those beautiful charts. And there was a couple that I thought I would offer as a giveaway. One, because I already had this one. I already did the spring ABCs. And so I thought if anybody is interested in this, if you just use the word spring in your comment below, we will enter you in for this chart. And then I thought I would offer this one. And so if you just use the word November, you'll be entered to receive that. I've often wanted to do more giveaways, but I never really take the time to pull things out. And so these are two one that I already have stitched, and I don't know that I would stitch the November. It's super cute though. I'm just starting to run out of room. So anyway, if you're interested in the spring one, say spring, or the little house, say November, and I will do the random comment picker. So as far as plans, I'm hoping to work more on my quilt. And then I know I was curious too, are you guys going to be doing the Christmas in July stitching? Do you guys have plans on what you're going to do in July? I was thinking about some of my other stuff that I hesitate to even say my plans, because normally if I say a plan, then something in my brain just shuts off and says, well, don't tell me what you're going to do. I mean, I just feel like I just don't handle direction very well sometimes if somebody's telling me to do something, which is probably something I ought to work on, but yeah, you know, whatever. But so I think that's somehow in my brain, whenever I think, okay, I'm going to do this, then that's the farthest thing from what I want to do. So I don't know if making plans is a beneficial thing or not, but I know right after Christmas, I had told myself I was going to do some things so that I would have new stuff out around Christmas time for my decorations. And so one of the things was, oh, and this whole pile's gonna fall. One of the things was to finish this quilt to go behind my dining room table. And I have gotten all my blocks done. And so all I have to do now is just piece the blocks together and put borders on. And that project will be ready to go on my quilting machine. So I think that might be one of my goals for July to try to meet that goal, because I really do want to have some new things up for my Christmas decorating. So um, I thought maybe I'll try to do that in July. But as far as my stitching, I just don't know if I'm going to be doing Christmas in July or if I still want to do patriotic. Um, I'm not sure, but I'll be interested to hear what you guys' plans are for July. I can't believe it's almost around the corner, but it really is. It's coming fast, but we are getting some things done around our yard, which is so exciting. I often, whenever I would go outside, would just kind of be overwhelmed and so discouraged by how behind I was on things. Like, visions I had for like our pond or flower beds or things around my house. I was just so far behind on them. And I kept getting more and more ideas. It was funny. Larry and I were sitting outside yesterday in between working in flower beds and things. And I would be like, what do you think about? And he just kind of looked at me like, seriously, we have 20 things that we haven't finished. We can't start anything new. And I thought, wow, you're so mature. Gosh. But anyway, it's good that I have something to rein me in sometimes, because I just think of, and it was funny, my thought process was, wouldn't it be fun to have one of those really long swings that I've seen people make out of just pallets, and then they put an air mattress on there, and then like some kind of thing on the back to kind of rest against. And then wouldn't that be nice to just be able to take a nap out by our pond, because he had just ordered some sailcloth to hang over our pond. We're hoping to try to cut off some of the sunlight. It'll still get a lot of light during certain hours of the day, but in the fullest heat of the summer, we're trying to block some of the sun so that it will slow down some of this algae it's producing. And so I just thought, oh, wouldn't that be so pretty? I mean, because it'll be in an area that should be shaded, and wouldn't that be so cool? But he didn't think that was a good idea. I don't know. Maybe it was because I was talking about having it hanging from beams, and he just kind of looked at me like, you need to simmer down. But anyway, I think it'd be nice. And I already bought the air mattress, and I already got a comforter to go on it from the thrift store. I mean, I am ready. But anyway, he did fix my wheelbarrow yesterday. I'll try to take some pictures today and maybe put them on Instagram so you guys can see them if you're interested. But we had this old wheelbarrow that we had found on the curb, and so it's just been laying around here. So I was finally able to, we changed out the wheel because it was flat, and we just put a little metal wheel that we had hanging out here. And so I was able to fill it with dirt yesterday, and I put a hosta plant that I had divided that needed to go somewhere, and I didn't know where else to put it. And then I had some stelladoras. So I'm hoping that those will come back every year. Oh, a school bus going by. I'm like, what in the world? And then I had just some annuals that I had bought, like literally, I think a month ago, that I haven't gotten in the ground. I've been very responsible, and I've been watering the heck out of them. And so they're in good shape, most of them. But it's like, oh my gosh, why is it not as much fun to plant them as it is to go and buy them? There's just nothing better than going through a garden center. Well, maybe a quilt shop or a cross stitch shop, but I mean, nothing better than just going through a garden center and seeing all the beautiful plants and then just bringing them home Gosh, but then you got to do something with them and you got to water them and weed them. And why isn't that part as much fun? Oh my gosh. Well, I've just been rattling on a lot here. But basically, that's some of the things I'm hoping to do. We were able to get I have an old bike that we bought at a yard sale, and I had seen some really pretty gardens that had some old bikes sitting aside with a basket of flowers, and I thought, oh, that would be so much fun. But I've had this silly bike that was just this ugly, orangey, rusty color, not pretty at all. And so I went and got paint last week, and so Larry spray painted it, took the wheels off and spray painted it for me. And then I made some arrangements to go in the back flower bin thing. So anyway, it was kind of fun. So I have that sitting out by the front, my bedroom window out front. So we are getting some things done, and some of the piles of things that have been sitting around that have just been nagging at me when I see them sitting around, we're using them up. So it's been great. We are making some progress, but not near as fast as we used to. My goodness, there used to be a day when we would go out and we would just conquer some of these big things in like just a matter of a few days on a weekend. And now it's like, I think this is like our second season on this pond and we're still not done. So it's heck getting old. But anyway, we're still doing it. But it was funny. We kind of laughed at each other yesterday. We're like, yeah, but I think some of these big projects, I think we're done with the big projects. We need to just do little projects. So we'll see. I'll come up with some harebrained idea and he'll have to try to figure out how to make it happen. Well, thanks for hanging out and chatting with me. I hope whatever you're doing, it's bringing you some joy. And I hope you're taking the time to do some of the things that makes your heart happy. I know we all have tons of things that we have to get done, but it's good to squeeze some of the stuff for us in here and there when we have time. Just really try to make it happen because it makes the other stuff more enjoyable to get done. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the nice comments. Everybody was saying how much they enjoyed my last video. It should have been labeled some kind of a blooper reel or something for all the silly things that happened during that video, honest to Pete. So if you need a laugh, you should go to my last video. It was kind of funny. Everybody's like, you're just so funny. And I'm like, well, I wasn't even trying to be funny. That was just some of the goofiness of around this house. But anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for joining me. And don't forget to leave the word spring or November in the comments if you're interested in the giveaway. And we'll thank Sherry for them. Anyway, you guys have a great day and come and see me again.